Okay, so for those of you just joining us, we are going to start our presentation for Reviews Engine. So if any of you guys don't know what Reviews Engine is, so basically what we've done is we've pretty much revamped what the reputation management side is for Highlevel. At the beginning, what we did was we launched a snapshot. And on the snapshot, it just gave everyone a little more flexibility on, I would say, just sending out the messages, the process between sending out a message and receiving a review, as well as adding extra review sites. So for instance, right now, Highlevel only has the ability to add Google to accept reviews. And when we built out the snapshot, we wanted to give our users, and as well as myself, because I use this in my agency as well, the ability to add other review sites. So whether it be Facebook, Trustpilot, those are the two of the ones that we use often, Yelp or whatever else. With our snapshot that we initially launched, we gave users the ability of adding as many review sites as needed. And with Reviews Engine, the revamp that we did was having it as a snapshot. We had a lot of limitations. So what we did was we built out a secondary kind of piece to the snapshot, which is something that's hosted on our side. So this way, the communication would go between Highlevel and our system. So whatever Highlevel can do, our system takes care of. And at this point in time, it's going to be, I'm going to go through the system and show you exactly what it is that our system is kind of taking care of and what Highlevel is taking care of. Highlevel is great when it comes to communication. So we're kind of left the funnel, the SMS drip sequence, the email drip sequence, all inside of Highlevel. And then a lot of the other systems are being built from our specific platform itself. So for the agenda today, what we're going to do is why we built Reviews Engine. I'll explain a little bit of our process of why we built the Reviews Engine. What is Reviews Engine? We're going to do a little bit of I'll show you guys a comparison chart of what we currently have as a feature and what Highlevel doesn't have, and what we are going to be building out in the near future. I'm going to go through a quick little setup walkthrough of adding a sub account on Reviews Engine and setting up that snapshot. And I'm going to go through a quick system walkthrough. So I want to show everyone all the great features that we have currently in the Reviews Engine system, as well as what we have built up on the snapshot itself. And last but not least, I'm going to showcase a little bit of a roadmap on what we're planning for the new future, and what you guys can expect. We have a lot of great features on the lineup, and I really can't wait to get our system fully optimized and have all of our great features launched. So once we get this launched, we'll give it to you guys, and you guys can go on and sell this to your clients, either as an upsell or use it in some creative way to get new clients in your door. All right, so why we built Reviews Engine. So I am a agency owner myself, and what we used to use before was Raas. And what we didn't like about Raas was the per user license fee. And what we loved about Highlevel was the fact that you could create as many sub accounts as needed, and there was only one price range. So we decided to build out a system inside of Highlevel that mimics what Raas does. And since then, we've been developing a lot of stuff, and we've been adding new features, and we continuously want to develop and add more features. The thing is with us, we're really not limited to what we're adding on our side. What we're doing is we're trying to take the best out of every single program that's out there, whether it's Raas, Review Shake, Podium. I forget the other big players that we have, but whatever big players are doing, we're kind of bringing onto our system, and we want to develop it within Highlevel, so it works hand in hand. So we obviously wanted to have more flexibility than what Highlevel has. That's why we built that extra system on the side, so we can add a lot more features. The cost of similar systems, like I said, for Raas, it just didn't make any sense. We pretty much wanted to upsell this to our clients. The upsell actually wasn't the hardest thing because the per license cost for Gratis or whatever it is kind of like negligible when you're selling this. But we wanted to be a little more creative with our solution in our system, in our agency. So things like using review management as a retention strategy, using review management as a first step on our value ladder. So bringing new clients in, offering them a review system at no charge. You know, that's something we wanted to have on our agency, and we didn't want to get charged on a per user basis for reputation management. So that's why we kind of we really want to restructure this and use exactly what Highlevel is offering. And last but not least, with Reviews Engine, our goal is to have a turnkey automated solution. Obviously, Highlevel is going the SaaS route, and we want to kind of jump on and go that same route with them, and have a automated system that can be launched in a matter of minutes. You know, we don't want to have a cumbersome system that you have to go in here and update that, you have to go in here and update that. Our main goal, once we get everything set up properly, is you have a onboarding form. Onboarding form is filled up, or it could be a wizard. And as soon as you click on complete, everything in the backend gets automatically set up through APIs. So that's our main goal with Reviews Engine. So with Reviews Engine, so what is Reviews Engine? It's pretty much a turnkey review system built for Highlevel. Like I said before, it's interconnected with Highlevel, and when we say turnkey, we really mean it's turnkey. We want you guys to load Reviews Engine, load the snapshot, and then in the future, once everything is set up properly, you can either give the onboarding form to your VAs, or you can do it yourself. Or what you can do is, if you enable the Raas function, pass it on to your client. At that point, all you have to do is make sure your clients go through the onboarding wizard, set up all their review sites, set up all of their other processes that are going to be asked on the review the onboarding wizard. As soon as they complete it, everything is set up for them, and then they can kind of manage their own system as it goes. So it's either going to be a done for you service or a done do it yourself service. So it's going to be something that you can kind of pass on or have your own team set up. We want to check people's reviews on our system. So it's not only about getting reviews, but also receiving the review data back into Highlevel and then do something fun with it. So if you have a client, a list of clients, for your clients, and you drip 100 review requests for your clients, and out of 100 you get 20 reviews back, 25-star reviews back. You want to leverage those 20. You can do something really creative with those 20. You can either have an upsell process for your clients, you can have a referral process for your clients, or you can just go in and kind of give your clients the 20 people that gave you reviews. You can kind of give them a reward for those 20 reviews. You know what I mean? Thank you so much for being a partner for us in our company. Here's a little bit of something. Here's a little gift for you. And just to kind of like build that brand equity for your clients. So there's a lot of fun things you can do whenever you're getting new reviews. So it's not about sending reviews, but it's also about receiving the reviews, tracking that data, and kind of running some fun automations with it. The Raas function, like I said previously, this is something that we kind of want to build towards and kind of have a SaaS model for review systems. So, sending that to your clients and letting your clients run their own system is one way you can do it. And another way you can do it is either doing it from within your agency. For our agency, what we did was we kind of built the system, but we kind of take the approach where we build a review system for our clients and we manage it for our clients. So we haven't fully utilized the Raas function in our agency, but this is something that's really powerful for you guys that are running SaaS-based models. You know what I mean? Adding this function to your SaaS-based business, and adding the it's a great value add. A lot of companies out there, I keep forgetting the name, but a lot of CRMs out there have review systems built in. And if you add this functionality in your CRM, it's going to set yourself apart from a lot of the players out there. And of course, it's all built for agencies. You know what I mean? We're building this with agencies in mind. So everything that we do and everything that we, all the features that we add onto the system it's built for you guys. All right, so a little bit of a comparison chart over here, Highlevel versus Go Highlevel. GHL Experts. All right, so right now, the review sites that we have available, we have about 70 plus review sites, and Highlevel I think has only Facebook and Google. Automated onboarding, like I said before, you know, the ability to onboard clients automatically through Wizard system, we have that in there. Also, for automated onboarding, in order to give you guys a little more flexibility, we've also built out an API. So if you have, you know, a specific system that you're using currently to onboarding clients, you could just add an extra Zapier step or whatever other system you're using, and add them onto the reviews engine. So we have an API as well that everyone can tie into. So we have direct reviews. So with direct reviews, instead of leaving a review on an external site, we capture the data from a form fill, and you can use those direct reviews in widgets and whatnot. Automated social sharing. So this is a new feature that we added with automated social sharing. You set up the criterias on where you want the reviews to be shared, and at that point, as soon as it hits the time, it will automatically share that onto your Facebook timeline. Review widget builder. So we've revamped our review widget builder, something we kind of showcased on a couple of our videos. And with the widget builder, you know, there's a lot more widget styles that you can build for all the reviews that you capture into the system. A review signatures redirect. So for this, we had a review signature redirect. So with systems like Raas, you can build out a email signature, right? And an email signature that will capture someone's reviews. So in the previous system, you can either click on 5-star or 1-star, it'll just go to the funnel page. But at this point, if you click on 5 stars, it'll go to the funnel page, but it'll also show the clients a way to, it'll give the clients a way to leave a review directly onto a review site, as opposed to if they click on 1-star, it'll ask for a direct feedback. Review text back feature. So this is pretty simple. You know, if you give the your users the ability to text, I think it's review to a specific number, and once they text that to the specific phone number, what they'll get is the review funnel link, and then from there they can leave a review. And automated review replies. This is a simple workflow. I'll go through the workflow with you guys. So basically, if you set it up properly, what will happen is as soon as our system gets a new review posted from any of your review sites, it'll check and see what the criteria are. If it's a 5-star review or if it's a 2 to 3-star review, once you have it set up on your workflow, it'll automatically reply to that review with a specific text. So we kind of built out a few workflows in there, but that's something that we're going to expand on in the future. And it's something you guys can kind of work on as well. So there's a bunch of things you can do, with reviews, and all in all, it's simply setting a custom value to what you want the review reply to be, what the criteria are, and then sending a webhook to our system, so our system knows that, hey, for this specific review, please reply with a specific text. So coming soon, what we have in the pipeline, multi-location setup. So previously, what we relied on was a multi-location setup where any new locations you're setting up would require a new sub-account. Our newest feature that we're going to have is you being able to set up multi-locations from within that same sub-account. So if you have a franchise that you're dealing with in one sub-account, you'll be able to add all of their locations on the funnel page on that specific sub-account, and it'll redirect to the appropriate review sites for that specific location. Reporting, currently Highlevel has reporting. It is limited, so for us, we are going to be expanding on reporting. We're going to have 2 sets of reporting. It's going to be agency side reporting as well as client side reporting. Video review integration. We had that in the previous version, but we kind of pruned it out for this release. we're going to be making a change for the video review integration so that the cost is very minimal for you guys, and you can add that feature onto reviews for your clients. Referral program addition. So as I said, whenever you're capturing data from any of your clients, 5-star reviews, you obviously want them to kind of push for a referral program. So that's something we're going to be adding on in the future, and giving everyone a little bit of a training on how that works. Funnel designer and new templates. So currently right now there's one template that you can use for the review funnel. So we're going to add a couple more templates on there so you can kind of have different types of landing pages for that review funnel. And we're also going to be giving you a little bit more flexibility on fixing the adjusting that funnel page. The ability to upload CSV files from the client side itself. So instead of the client sending you data, you can give them a portal where they can upload the CSV files themselves, and then the automated drip sequence will happen automatically. A review wallboard. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a specific funnel page that's going to have a wallboard. I forget what other platform does this, but there's a platform out there that we model this after. They actually run it really nicely, and we're kind of modeling after them, and we want to get that out to you guys as well. So for social sharing, we have a couple of image templates that we're using. We're going to be releasing more image templates for social sharing. And once we release the video review integration, we obviously want you guys to be able to share any video reviews you capture onto your social channels. So that's going to be added as well. And last but not least, we're adding a lead generation tool. And we're going to have a little course on how to use that lead generation tool in order for you to sell reputation management. It's going to be a powerful tool, and we're going to add, once we have the tool out there, we're going to have a little bit of a course on a little run through on how to use this as well. So as you can tell, there's a lot coming in the pipeline, and I'm really excited. I can't wait to actually get all this out to you guys and fully functional, so you guys can kind of use this within your organization. Okay, so I hope I'm not going too fast. I tend to ramble a lot, so I'm going to go through a quick setup walkthrough with you guys. And what this is it's not going to be the automated approach. I'm going to load I'm going to create a new account, load the snapshot onto that account, and load that account onto the review system. And I'm going to be adding a few review channels through Google and Facebook. And then from there, I'm going to be showing you how to set up the snapshot. The snapshot takes about a few minutes to set up. All you need to do is add a couple of URLs. And once you add those the few URLs on the custom values, then we're pretty much good to go. So let me get to it. Okay, so first things first, what you would need to do is go to settings, custom menu link, and you would need to add the link URL over here. This URL is the URL you would get in your GHL Experts dashboard once you log into ghlexperts.com. And it's the unified dashboard where we have all of our systems, all of our engines in place. So we have the support engine, here's the review engine, and of course the promotional engine. And coming soon, what we'll have is we'll also have the promotional engine, reviews engine, support engine. I think there's one more engine that we have in the pipeline. I'm drawing a blank right now, but you'll see that pop up over here once we have that launched. So as you can see over here, reviews engine is already enabled. And once I go to reviews engine over here, this is my account. First things first, what you want to do is go to agency settings and set up your Highlevel account API as well as your DataShake API key. And once you have that set up, you just click on update on both sides over here, and you'll have that set up on your reviews engine side. So it's pretty simple. Make sure you get your agency API from your settings on your agencies on the agency side and get that in there, and your DataShake API if you want to use DataShake. I'll go into a little more details on DataShake a little towards the end of the video, just so everyone knows why we're using Datashake and what's Datashake for. It's not a requirement, but it's an external system that we're using in order to pull reviews from different channels that otherwise we wouldn't be able to pull reviews from. Okay, so let's go to a setup. First things first, let's create a new account. On snapshot, import a snapshot. All right, reviews engine. Let's select and continue. And then from here, let's add a account manually. Experts.com, GHL Experts, Lee Street, Montreal, Canada. EMT. Save that. So loading snapshots have been a little slow. Going to see if the snapshot has been loaded or not. Settings. Let's go to custom values and see if, okay, looks like everything is there. Okay, so as you can see over here, this is all the RMS system custom values. If you go to custom fields, everything is pre-appended with RMS, so you know what we're using. So if anything, if you import a snapshot onto your system, make sure you don't touch anything that says RMS on it. So let me go back to agency view and go to the GHL Experts dashboard, reviews engine, Subaccount. I'm going to duplicate this real quick so I have this Subaccount loaded as well. All right, so this is a new account that we just created. Okay, so like I said before, custom values is the only thing you need to set up. But first things first, you need to get the location ID. Once you load a sub account, sorry, you can actually search for the location. So we got GHL Experts right here. Because we have the API key, we're listing all the locations you have currently, and everything gets loaded automatically. So for review notification email, what you'd want to put over here is an email for any reviews. If you want to notify your clients of any new reviews coming in, you would need to put an email in here. So if you don't want any review notifications, you would just uncheck this over here. So in this case, I'm just gonna put my email. And I'll keep this unchecked. All right, so we have the new account over here. Let's click on view and configure. Okay, let's go to custom values and see, make sure everything is set up properly. Okay, so we pushed the access key, callback URL, and the location access key over here. So these are all necessary, and it's automatically being pushed from our system. If you ever have any issues, just take a look at the custom values and make sure your custom values are set up properly. The only thing that's missing right now is the URL itself. So what I'm going to do right now is go to domains, add a new domain. I believe I have this one set up already. widgets.com. Okay, great. And once you have a domain added, you would want to go to sites, go to the RMS library, go to settings, and add that domain. You can either add it from here or you can add it from the domain site itself. All right, so now that we have the domain set up, what you need to do is copy this for the main review site. and make sure you have this in custom values. So I'm just going to duplicate this so I can go back and forth pretty quickly. And I'll go back to sites. Okay, great. So the main review site, what we need to do is add this to the review funnel URL over here. Paste that in there. And pretty much all you got to do is just copy and paste all the URLs that you have for each one of these funnel pages. So the opt-in page, opt-in URL, paste that in here. Contact. So this is get contact URL. So get contact page. Thank you page. And the unsubscribe URL. And that is pretty much all you have to do on the snapshot. The thing is, we can't really push a URL or add a domain on a sub account currently because of Highlevel. Highlevel doesn't really allow that feature yet through an API. If they do add this in the future as an API, adding a specific domain on a sub account and then publishing that domain on a funnel page, we're going to have this fully automated. So as it stands right now, this is the only thing you need to do on the snapshot. As you can see over here, the last one is reviews notification email, which is completely blank. If I have checkmarked the review notification button when I created the account, this would have had the email address and it would have been used in the automation. So this is pretty much the snapshot setup. I'm going to go through the snapshot afterwards, but for now, what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the review side over here, okay? So this is where you're going to be setting up any and all of review sites and managing the review side on our system itself. The logo over here is something you would use in order to display on the funnel page itself. So you just upload a logo over here. This is the location ID. If, for instance, your location ID is incorrect or has changed, you can always edit this over here. Data shake credits to use this month. I'm going to go into a little more details on what data shake is in the future, but this is pretty much how much credits this sub account has used for the month. Notification email addresses. This is what the address we're going to be using for a notification email. And if I checkmark this email will receive notifications. This is the frequency on receiving reviews for this specific account. It's defaulted to 7 days, every 7 days. You can do it to daily, bi-weekly, or monthly. And this is going to be using the data shake credits. Positive rating threshold. So this is defaulted to 4. So anything 4 and above would mean that it's a positive rating. Anything 1 to 3 would be a negative rating. And the review template itself, so we have hearts, thumbs, smiley, and stars. It's defaulted to stars. So if I show you the funnel page afterwards, stars will show up over there. Callback URL. These two URLs are using the automation, and it can also be used in Zapier's. But I'll explain to you exactly what this is being used for. The postback URL pretty much is to get new reviews back into Highlevel and get information back into from Highlevel onto the review management system. So for instance, if someone leaves a direct review, it's a form fill on Highlevel, and we want to capture that data. So it posts back onto RMS, so we can create a widget with any direct reviews. So that's one part of it, but there's other aspects to it as well. And the review reply webhook, which is this right here. This is something that I'm going to go into a little in the future, but pretty much whenever Highlevel detects something, it's going to send it back to the RMS system so the RMS can reply to reviews on behalf of your clients. I'm going to go through the review profile setup, and what we're going to do is we're going to add a Facebook page and a Google page. All right, so what can I add for a Google page? I can either sign in over here, or we can type a business over here. All right, so if I signed in over here, it'll ask me to connect my side, my Google account. And then from there, it will allow me to select the location. So I'm going to go ahead and select this location over here. If you have other locations connected to your account, you can select it. It'll show you a list of all the locations that you have for your specific site. In my case, I only have one location attached to my profile, so I'm going to select that. The other method you can do is typing a business name over there, or I'll go back to the Facebook and I'll show you exactly what I mean. So for Google, you can either type in a business and it'll automatically pre-fill what it finds, and then you can select that. Or if you select, you can automatically, you can just put the, I think it's the Google Places ID to add a profile on Google. And in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to, let's see, what can I use for? Maybe, so Domino's Pizza, Facebook. All right, so this is the site we're going to use for our little test. If I go back over here, let's go to Domino's Pizza Canada and add that profile. Alrighty. So now we got two profiles. You can always click on the profile link itself to make sure it's the correct profile. And this right here, it's going to redirect to the profile with the Places ID. Okay, so we got Facebook and Google. And the thing is, you can always move, the top profile is always going to be the main profile, and the bottom, everything under that is going to be the secondary, third, and fourth profile. So you can always drag and drop one over the other. And so there's a little bit of a delay over here. What it's doing is it's gathering all the reviews on the specific profile. So this might take about an hour or two to pull in. For Facebook, it'll use DataShake. For Google, since we connected the accounts, through OAuth, it will pull without using DataShake credits. And once it pulls all the reviews, you'll have the review list over here. Then we have widgets and social sharing. So I'm going to go through that a little later. Now, if I go to reviews main and I load this. So the logo is just showing logo, but if you uploaded a specific logo over here, it will show that logo up here with the company name. So I click on 5 stars, I have Google and Facebook. If I click on Google, it'll bring me to the Google page to leave a review. And of course, if I click on, okay, so this is, this right here is a little extra feature that we have. I didn't really get to displaying that yet, but I'm going to show you real quick in a bit. If I click on Facebook, it'll load the Facebook page for Domino's Pizza, the one we added, so people can leave a review from here. So the thing is, after you leave a review, after someone clicks on leaving a review, because I loaded the page for reviews main, this is an added feature that we added on RMS. As you can see over here, we captured the fact that the RMS was a 5-star rating and the person clicked on Facebook. The main page has now updated to asking your client to leave a review on Google as well. Since I already clicked on Facebook, I'm assuming that I left a review on Facebook. And in this case, the RMS system has loaded it to the thank you page, but the get contact thank you page. So there's 2 new pages we see over here. Okay, so I'm going to explain the process a little bit. Once I clicked on the review, this did not have a contact ID attached to it. Because it didn't have a contact ID attached to it, we don't know who left the review. So what's loaded right now is the get contact page. They both look similar, but except the get contact page has a little bit of a form over here. So what we want to do is we want to capture that data and make sure we know who left the review. So if I leave the information over here, so let's say Shah at GHLexperts.com, and whatever number, not a robot, stay in touch. This will be added as a contact on the pipeline stage. So we're going to take a look at that later. And it also tells the user to leave a review on Google as well. So I feel like this is a great, it's a powerful tool to make sure, clients leave a review on other review sites after they've already left a review on, let's say, Facebook, for instance. So if I go to the opportunities pipeline stage, online review, Shaw, Facebook, 5 stars. So it's recorded at this point only because I asked the user to fill out that form. So you guys can get creative with this. Maybe offer something special to either subscribe to their mailing list, or get a promotional discount code after they fill out that form. You guys can get creative with this. It's really important because if someone leaves a review and you don't know who it is, you'd want to capture that data just so that you know who the person is, and if they left a 5-star review, just do something fun with it. So that's how that works. And what I'm going to do is showcase a little bit, show you how the thank you page looks if we have the contact ID. So if you have the contact ID, as soon as you load it, this is what it's going to show. Thank you for reviewing us. We love if you can also review us on Google. But we already know who the person is. If someone filled out a form through a trigger link, it's going to pass the data back into Highlevel, and it's going to pass them through the opportunities on the pipeline stage, and then you can kind of get creative from there. Of course, the opt-in page is where you can fill out the form. If you guys use this before, if you guys use other review platforms, it'll load the form over here, and then you just put in the first name, last name, email, mobile number, click on yes, and send a review request. If you do that, then it'll send this contact the review funnel page, and then from there, once they leave a review, it'll pass them through the pipeline stages. So what I'm going to do right now is, this is a very basic setup. Again, I'm just going to go and explain exactly what we did. First thing we did was make sure we have the app enabled on our GHL Experts dashboard. Once we have it enabled, go to Reviews Engine. Make sure the agency settings are enabled and set up properly with the API key. Go to Subaccounts. Make sure you click on Load a Subaccount. But obviously, before you load a subaccount, make sure the subaccount has a snapshot enabled. If the subaccount doesn't have the snapshot enabled and you load the subaccount, you will get an error message on the subaccount, and it'll explain exactly what that error message is and what the problem is. So after you have that subaccount created, you go to View and Configure. And then the next thing you need to do is either set up whatever it is you want to have the options over here, but the main thing is you want to set up the review profile links. And from there, you would go to the subaccount itself, go to settings, make sure you have a domain set up, and then you just start adding the custom values after you add it to the specific funnel page. So there's a little bit of steps involved, but all in all, it should take you about 5 minutes to set up properly and get your clients up and running with review management. And then from there, it's just about either getting the client list from your clients and adding it as a drip campaign. Everyone knows how to do that through contacts. And once you have that set up properly, if you have a list of 100 clients, always try to space it out. So there's about at least a 2-month runway. So what I would do is I would drip 50 out per month, just so you can get reviews for a client, but it'll be trickled out over a couple of months. So it's not a one shot. So you can even go slower than that. But if what I would do is a minimum of 50 per month. And if you have a client that's giving you, 500, you can always, adjust your strategy. Okay, so now that we have that set up, what I want to do is go through a little bit of a system walkthrough. This is going to take about 15 to 20 minutes. I just want to explain exactly what we have on the RMS side and what we have on the snapshot. I'm going to go through every single asset and explain exactly what that asset is and what it does. All right, so let me close all this. I'm going to keep the subaccount open over here. And first things first, I'm going to explain exactly what we have over here for Reviews Engine. Okay, so the dashboard will show you how many subaccounts you have, how many of them are active, the credits used this month. This is DataShake, and the total reviews received this month. So I'm going to explain to you a little bit about DataShake. If none of you guys have DataShake at the moment, you can just go to app.datashake.com. Either sign in. I'm already signed in. If you haven't signed in, you can create an account on DataShake and then create an API key. You get an API key for the review scraper API. There's a little bit of a cost for DataShake, but it's a per credit basis, and you can pull reviews from pretty much 70 plus review sites. And what our system will do is, once you have the API key, we'll tap into that API key on your behalf and pull all the new reviews to Reviews Engine. And once you get those new reviews in, you can do some fun things with it, including, obviously, adding all those reviews on a customized widget. You can also pull in those new reviews on Highlevel, and then from there, kind of do some fun things with it. If you look through this over here, that's add unknown reviews into Highlevel. I'm going to explain this feature a little more, but pretty much DataShake is used to pull in reviews from sources other than anything that's connected through Google and Facebook. So that's taking care of the dashboard. Obviously, recent reviews and statistics, these are coming soon on the next iteration. And we're also going to have a UI update to update the front end. So the system looks a little better. So if I go to subaccounts, let's go back to that main subaccount that we created over here. We have tooltips on every single one of these buttons. So if anyone has any questions or like, what does this do? What does that do? Just hover over the tooltip and there's a little bit of a text that's added over there. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to go through each button and kind of give you guys a fast track on what exactly each thing does. So deactivate will deactivate this account. It doesn't really delete the account from Highlevel. It'll just deactivate the account. So if you have a client that's not paying, you could always deactivate this feature, and the client won't be able to use any of the widgets, social sharing, or whatever the case is that we have on Highlevel. Delete sub account. Now this will delete the whole account on RMS, the RMS side, but it won't delete the sub account on Highlevel. So you don't need to worry about deleting the sub account on Highlevel. If, for instance, your client canceled, you can delete the sub account directly from here. Obviously, this is going to be part of the API. And once we have that integrated in the API, you can automate that whole offboarding process, including with the onboarding process. Enable Raas. So this button will enable the reviews side on the sub account itself. We had a little bit of bugs with it. I'm going to test this feature out right now. We tested it out prior to, I think it was last week, and everything worked well. But I'm going to test this out right now. We're going to check and see how that influences the sub account that we created over here and the menu buttons over here. So this feature will enable the reviews options on the sub account itself. So your clients can kind of check the review links and also modify the profile or set up new profiles on the review side. I think for now we just have review side, review list and widgets, but this other tab we're going to add as well on the RAS side. Receive review notifications. So I'm going to enable that. This is pretty much whenever we receive a new review, do you want to send that notification onto your the email itself? So if this is the case, then checkmark this, and what it'll do is it'll add that to the custom value on the snapshot side, and I'll go into a little bit of a explanation on that once we get to the workflow side on the snapshots. So let's we're gonna move on from there. Add unknown reviews into Highlevel. So like I said, once you have DataShake or Google or Facebook attached to the account, it's going to pull in new reviews, and it's going to pull in new reviews on the RMS system. If someone left you a 5-star review on Google, it'll show up on the reviews list over here. But if you want to have that 5-star review also added to Highlevel, you would need to checkmark this over here. This is so if you want to notify the client on any review that came in through Google, through Facebook, not just reviews that came in through the RMS system, right? So if you want to add these reviews onto Highlevel, you would click on this, and we're going to be adding a new feature in the future where if a new review came in through Highlevel, through Google or Facebook, or let's say Trustpilot or Yelp, and you want to know if this belongs to a contact, you'll be able to merge the review to a specific contact. So the contact, you'll know that contact left you a 5-star review. It's a little bit of a manual work, because unfortunately right now, whenever someone leaves a review on on Google or Facebook or wherever it is, we can only capture the name of the user, but people, have accounts under various different names, and some people, sometimes it's hard to connect a review to a specific contact. So it's going to be a little bit of a manual process, but if you could connect a review to a contact, you can continue them through the path on the opportunities. And like I said before, if they left you a 5-star review, you can always follow up with something fun. So that's what add unknown reviews into Highlevel does. Location ID, like I said, is the location ID for that specific sub account. This is the logo that's going to be used on the funnel page. Review notification email address, that's if you're using review notification. This review get frequency will be a frequency on how many times you want to get your reviews from your review profiles over here. And this is strictly for DataShake. The positive review threshold, I spoke about this before, and the template you want: stars, smiley, thumbs, hearts. Stars is the default one. So if I go to review profile setup, this is going to take a little while. We have a system in the backend that runs DataShake to pull reviews. So like I said, it takes about an hour or two to pull in all the new reviews, but as you can see over here, Google pulled in all the reviews, and that's because we connected Google throh OAuth directly. So these are all the review sites we have. You can have a direct review link over there as well, TripAdvisor, Yelp, and so on and so forth. So all you need to do is click on add, and then from there, set up the link. These are the review list. So we're going to update this in the future and add some more features on the list itself, but you can always perform actions and either respond to a review. You can't really delete the review. This deleting a review will only work for direct reviews. And share is if you want to share this review onto Facebook or Twitter. Actually, Google's missing over here, but Facebook or Twitter with a specific template. So we only have one. Actually, we have a couple of templates over here. And as you can see, this is exactly how it's going to showcase on your Facebook or Twitter or Google timeline. And these are the, this is pretty much what is the text that's going to show. If you want, you have different variables over here that you can use. And this is when you click on share, it'll share onto that Facebook page. But before you can actually share reviews, you would need to connect your Facebook page. And I'll get to that in social sharing. So delete won't do anything unless you have a direct review that you can delete. Then obviously respond. If you type in the response over here, you click on respond, it'll respond to this review. So under widgets, you can create a new widget over here. It's showing no reviews found over here for some reason, but obviously we have reviews. But if I click on sample data, it'll load up with sample data, and then from here you can create a new widget, test widget, and you can create different types of widgets: grid, masonry, pop-up. The pop-ups are going to be on the left side or the right side. Carousel, slider. So I have you guys kind of go through this and test it out, and utilize this within your organization. A number of reviews, how many reviews you want to be listed, right? The minimum star rating, 4 stars or more, only 5 stars. So if you click on only 5 stars, it only shows 5-star reviews. And if you want to do a random sort or sort by date, and you have a bunch of features over here. We're going to be expanding on this. You also obviously have a way to kind of like change the appearance for the review widget. So there are a few things that we want to add as well on our next iterations, but pretty much this is what we have currently, which have the saved test 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I need to look into this and see why it's not saving, but after you have it saved, you'll have a code, and from that code, you'll be able to add that code onto a website to display those reviews. Social sharing. So we have Facebook, Twitter, and Google. And pretty much all it is first off, you need to sign in and connect that specific account. And once you sign in and connect, it's pretty much logging into your Facebook or Google or Twitter account. Well, not yours specifically, for your clients. At that point, you just have a templated message over here. You select which review template you want. You can exclude stars or exclude review sources. And exclude reviews with no text or media. You can post per day at a specific time, at a specific time zone and specific days. And then once you have everything set up, you click on save. So what our system is going to do is it's going to check for all the new reviews that came in within that threshold. And between a specific time slot, it'll post those reviews on the specific Facebook page or Twitter page or Google page. So that's how the automated review sharing works. So this is pretty much the gist of how and what's available currently for the system. As you can tell, there are a specific setup. There are things that we need to address currently, and it's actually good that I'm going through this right now with you guys. I'm going to go to our dev team and get these issues pushed probably by today. So by tomorrow, all these reviews are going to be fixed. Now let's go to the snapshot itself. So right now, I'm going to go through the snapshot and explain all the assets we have. So on the opportunity side, the pipeline stage is as simple as new request, no review, clicked review, direct review, video review, and online review. And last but not least will be unsubscribe. So as you can tell over here, it's pretty straightforward. A new request, whenever you submit anything on the opt-in page, or you upload a list on, like let's say for a drip sequence on contacts, you'll get the new request over here listed over here. If someone goes through the whole drip cycle and they don't leave a review, it'll show up over here as no review. If they click the review site, it'll show up over here. And if they left a review, either direct, video, online, it'll show up over here. Okay, and obviously unsubscribe will be if they click on unsubscribe. So this is a way where you can manage it, and you can obviously add some automations to it if need be. For instance, one thing you can do is for no review, you can add a stale opportunity automation, stale opportunity workflow. So if they didn't leave a review, you can add them to another drip sequence, maybe in a month or two, to ask them to leave your review if they haven't already left your review. And similar to click the review, if anyone clicked the review but they didn't actually leave a review, then you can do the same thing over here for sale opportunities. Like, hey, we noticed that you've clicked the review site, but we haven't really gotten a review. So if you can, go ahead and leave a review, really appreciate it. So you can do a lot of cool stuff with any of the automations over here with this pipeline stage. On their marketing, we have a couple of email templates. So we migrated from templates to email templates. This is the drip sequence, email 1, 2, and 3. And confirm review email is going to be, I'll explain this in the automation, but basically this email will be sent out once someone clicks on a review site. So we know, and we can confirm if they actually left a review or not. And of course, we got the trigger links over here. These are automatically set up. You don't really need to do anything with this, but this is set up for making sure we know exactly where on the pipeline stage our clients are at. So if you go to automation, we put everything in the folder for review automation. Okay, so we have quite a bit of automations over here. I don't want to go through every single one of them. What I'm going to do is go through the main ones. So auto respond positive review. I'll explain exactly how this works. So first off, it's going to check and see if there's a review ID for a specific contact. And what this is if we actually have a review ID for a contact, that means we've pulled in a 5-star review for this specific contact, right? So if we pulled in a 5-star review for this contact and 5-star review, if we pulled in a review from the contact, from a specific contact, and that contact was added to Highlevel, and the review is either Facebook or Google, because for now, we can only respond to reviews through Facebook or Google. And the review rating is 4 or 5. It'll update the contact field with, it'll contact review reply with this specific text. So you can change this text to whatever it is you want, and then send a webhook to our system, which is the review reply callback. Okay, so once this goes through these, once we get a specific review through this contact kind of workflow, it will send it'll reply to that specific review with "thank you for your review." So you can go and you can change this to whatever it is you want. You can change the criteria for the threshold. You obviously want to keep this where if it's either Facebook or Google, or you can just like change it to either Google or just Facebook, depending on your needs. And then it'll automatically reply to that specific review. I hope that's clear. If you guys have any questions with these recipes, just let us know. External triggers workflow. So what I want to do is go through the review request workflow. So this is a specific workflow for whenever we ask people to review us. So this is going to be the drip cycle. So we check and see if the company, if a client replied feedback to that specific reply channel SMS. So like I said, text back feature is runs with this. The RMS review request form, if that was completed, or if the contact tag was set up. And this is obviously if you have a list that you want to upload, you would use a contact tag. So first things first, it's going to check if they aren't unsubscribed. If they are unsubscribed, do nothing. And if they aren't unsubscribed, then you want to go through this specific drip sequence. So I'm going to leave it to you guys to kind of explore that. You can change the messages on the SMS and email, but for now it's a very specific generic email and SMS that we're dripping out. And we have 3 different emails and SMS that we drip out over the course of, I think, about a week. And the one thing that we added over here is prevent duplicate submission. So we added a 60-day timer. It's a very easy way to kind of pause anyone from being re-added within 60 days. You can change this to 30 days or whatever it is. So in this case, if you upload a list and you have a contact in that list, it's going to go through the process. And in about 30 days, if you upload a new list and that same contact is in that second list, it won't be re-added to the review request workflow. So it's a little addition that we added to prevent any duplicate submissions. So that's the main workflow. The external triggers workflow, it's pretty much, it's a little complex, but I'm going to go through the specific on what it is that we've added over here that makes our system a little, it's more beneficial for understanding and capturing when someone leaves a review. So we have a bunch of triggers over here. Most of these triggers are done through the RMS system. And all it does is adding and remove tags, and removing from workflows and passing through the pipeline stage. But what we added over here was if someone clicked on any of the review sites, right? What we want to do is we want to ask them, please confirm that you submitted a review of the location by clicking on this link. And we send them an email as well. So what this does is, if someone clicked on Facebook or Google, we're going to ask them if they actually left a review. There's a little bit of a time delay of like 30 minutes. So after 30 minutes, we're going to ask them, did you actually leave us a review on Facebook? We don't know if they left a review on Facebook. We don't know if they left a review on Google. If they clicked on Facebook, they probably would have just been like, they clicked on Facebook and then they just got busy or whatever it is, and they haven't left us a review. But if they have left us a review, sorry, I'm tripping on my words, they'll click on that trigger link, and we know at that point that the review has been confirmed on Facebook and Google. You know what I mean? We want to capture as much data as possible on Highlevel so you can utilize that data. So at that point, if they clicked on the trigger link, we add a tag that the review is confirmed, and we update the opportunity. And it's the same thing over here. So if the contact info form is submitted, we want to make sure that they've actually left a review. So this is when I filled out the contact form, I want to make sure that that person left a review because we've captured that person's contact. So I want to make sure if that person has left a review. So as you know, as you can see over here, I'm still under the weight in 30 minutes, so eventually I'm gonna get I probably already received an SMS and email just to make sure that I left a review or not on, let's say, Facebook or Google or whatever the case was. So those are the two additions that we have over here for the external triggers. And the review link clicked. This is pretty simple. It just updates the opportunity and passes them down the stage once a review link has been clicked. And that's pretty much it. And the unsubscribe workflow just unsubscribe the person to not receive any more review requests from the system. So I would want everyone to kind of like go through the automations just to understand what the automations are. What we're going to do is we're going to document everything on a specific document and explain everything so everyone knows exactly what each automation kind of does. And in the future, if you want to kind of make any changes to the verbiage or whatever it is, you'll know exactly where you would want to kind of make those changes. And at that point, create your own snapshot and load that specific snapshot for your clients. So you have, custom verbiage, and if you have any custom flows in your specific system, you can actually add that in there. So we went through all the funnels already, and I think that pretty much encompasses everything.